You know I love you all. When I look at our lives, I just want to talk about our destiny. I had a story told to me one time. This man, he was a carpenter and he worked for a building construction company. After a while, he went to his boss and said, I just want to retire. He turned in his resignation letter and he said, I'm okay. I think the little paycheck I have is enough for me to spend time with my family. Well, I may not have enough, but I need a leisure time with my family, and my wife can work. The little we have may be enough for us to go by. His boss looked at him. He felt sad. He said, man, just do me one more favor. Please, build one more house for us. We have so many contracts. Just one more. He turned in his resignation letter. He agreed to build one more house. They gave him all the finances that he needed. So he started building. But with time, you could tell his heart was no longer in it. He had already retired. He went ahead using shabby and inferior materials. He was not dedicated. He cared less. He did not just put in his very best. At the end of the day, the house was like not fit for a human being to live, not safe enough for a human being to live. He knew what he had done. So he called his boss and handed the keys over and said, I've built your house. Now I'm about to go. His boss said, hold them. Just hold it. Please come back, Mr. Jack. We have a new policy, and the policy says, because you've worked for us, we want to give you a gift. This key, this house belongs to you. It's our gift to you. We want you to build a house that you are proud of, a house that is your future, a dream, something your family, friends can look and say, yes, you built this house. We're proud of you, so take the keys to your new home. Oh my God. What a shame. If only he knew this was his future home. If only he knew this was his dream, he would have done it differently. Where he's going to live now with his family is a result of the decisions he made. If he knew, he would have been more dedicated. If he knew, he would have been more committed. If he knew, he would have built it with passion. If he knew, his heart would have been in it. If he knew, he wouldn't have built a house. He would have built a home. You see, that is destiny for him. The decisions he made became the destiny for where he's going to live. I see people define destiny. When I look at the dictionary, they say, oh, inevitable or necessary fate for which a particular person is destined. That becomes one's lot. Unfortunately, many people don't fulfill that destiny because there are goals and stages you have to go. Those goals are stages, different levels that you have to fulfill in order to fulfill that destiny. But then they mistake the goals for their destiny. What is a goal? A goal becomes the purpose for which an endeavor is directed, which becomes an objective. Now, most people have goals in their lives, but then they do not make plans to work things out in order to fulfill these goals. So they drop out. So what is the plan? The dictionary defines the plan as methods, programs, the schemes, that which you will work out beforehand in order to accomplish that objective. Well, for high school kids, that's too big of definitions. It's too big for me to even understand. But I look at this way. Our destiny may be on this platform. This may be all that you high school kids want to become. A doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. Remember, when it comes to decision, you see your teachers, you see your parents. It's possible that the decision they made when they were in high school, this could be the result. What you see here may be the decision I made when I had the opportunities that you have now. So if destiny is this platform, what are goals? Goals may be the staircases. There are 1, 2, 3 staircases before you get to this platform. It means these staircases becomes your goals. And if they are your goals, the question is, how do I get to this place? How do I achieve every goal? Somebody may say, okay, I have to take a slow walk to reach this place. The other will say, you know what? I just want to hop. And the other person will say, I think I learned so fast. I want to run so quickly because I'm in a hurry to get there. These are plans. The way you climb each stair is the plans that you have in order to fulfill a goal. Look at it this way. Maybe you want to be a teacher because you have teachers around you. Now you're in high school. This is where you are. Someday after high school, you want to have your GED. You want to have your high school diploma. You want to have your associate degree. That is the next step. After that, it may be your bachelor's degree. Then you may find a job and you'll be fulfilled in life. But the thing is, you're already here. High school. What are your plans? Are you going to be like the carpenter who was not dedicated, who did not put his heart to it? There are many plans that you can have. But let's just bring it down because of time constraint. I've talked to you. I work here. I see sometimes people don't understand what is a learning process. When I was in high school, I learned that there was a friend of mine, he's called Clement. When we study, it takes him 10 minutes, and he could read like 20 pages, and he understands. He was my best friend, and we like playing soccer in the evenings. But it's going to take me 3 hours to cover what he's going to study in 20 minutes. I learned that my process was not as fast as his. So what do? When he studies, he's okay, he wants us to go play. I say, no. You ready? I am not ready. This is who I am. I have to take more time in order to study. So what about your learning process? Is it the same with your mates? If you do not understand, you'll be competing with your mate. You'll be running with your mate, and you will not be able to assimilate enough to get you through. The other thing I see, imitation. Some of us in this high school, I have talked to people, they just want to do things because others are doing it. Somebody wants to become this person, so they just tag along. I want to be so and so because my friend Jenny wants to be this. This is why. Let me tell you the truth. Yes, you may do it. You may become what Jenny is going to become. You may become what your mom says you should become. Not what you have passion for. Not what you love. Not what is going to give you comfort. But to tell you the truth, if you become what your friends want to become, you're not going to be the real deal. He is or she is the original. All you're going to become is an imitation of that person. Because you're not the original. Then also, when you look at your friend and you want to be who your friend wants to be, you draw a limitation to your life. All you struggle is to meet up to who he wants to be, his standard. Maybe you're born unique. Maybe you're supposed to be a lot greater. But instead of looking into yourself for what God has said you're going to be, what God has equipped you to be, what you're supposed to become, you want it to be like your friends, so you have a limitation to that aspiration for where you're supposed to grow. The other thing I want to talk about is relationship with your teachers. I talked to some kids. Oh my God, they said, this teacher is so boring. I hate him. I said, wow. They say, I just don't like him. Because of that, I don't listen when he is teaching. I don't want you to like your teachers. Believe me, don't like them. I just want you to love them. The reason why you have to love your teacher is not because he is your teacher, because you have a plan. Your plan is to have your high school diploma. If you stop seeing him as the teacher whom you hate and you begin to see him as an instrument for your success, you begin to love him. If you begin to see his presence as somebody who is there to impact what he knows, to build you up, to pilot you, to encourage you, to push you to your success, you begin to long to see him. When he is teaching, you want to listen. You love his presence. You come close. When you have a problem, you want to draw near him. Not because you like him, but because you understand that he is important in your life. You may spend a few hours with him, but that few hours is going to cover and accomplish the plans for you to succeed in your next goal. That is how I define destiny, goals, and plans. You see, for me, I don't like fast food. I really don't like fast food. I'm sorry for those who work in McDonald's and every other place like KFC. I don't like it. But many times I'm always on the road. And many times I get so hungry. I'm so tired and I'm driving. And I remember McDonald's says, I'm loving it. And I just don't love fast food. But you know what? Just like your teacher, the relationship between you and your teacher, I know I have to pull over. I know I have to buy the burger, sandwiches. I know I have to buy the French fries because I am so hungry. I'm famished. I'm about to die. I'm tired. And I still got a long way to go. So I just have to love it. Not because I like fast food, but think about it. This fast food is going to give me strength. It's going to keep me strong. It's going to keep me going. I am going somewhere. That is the destiny. I need to eat. I need to drink. It satisfies my taste. It's going to satisfy my hunger to carry me along. So I love the motto. I'm loving it. What about us? Today, I challenge you. Think wisely. Build wisely. This life you have is the only life you're going to live on earth. There is no other. Are you going to be proud? Is the nation going to be proud about you? One day I was in Wawa. A girl that I talked to, high school girl, she was with her parents. Suddenly she ran to me and she like Franklin and held me, a teenager. And the parents were beside her. I was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. She kept holding me, and the mom and the dad had their eyes fixed on me. Okay, I was praying, God, help me. I hadn't even seen her face. Suddenly she said, Mom, that's Franklin that I've always been telling you about. And the mom said, oh, you're Franklin. And the mom came and gave me a hug. And the father was there. That's the daughter and the wife. I said, okay, I'm dead. I love my teeth. I love my teeth. So I had my hands here, so if he's going to throw a punch, oh. And the man came close, and he said, oh, Franklin, I've heard about you. He shook hands with me. He said, Franklin, do you know my daughter, whom was a write-up? She said you used to talk to her a lot. He said she made a decision. And today, she's a straight A student. As soon as he said it, I was so proud to be with this little girl. I turned around again and I held her so close to me. I just felt, it was so emotional, I almost started weeping. This was a girl who told me she would never make it. And I kept talking and talking to this little girl. Today, she's a straight A. She knows where she's going. I want to see you in the same faith. I want to see you in the future. I want to be proud of you. I want to hold your hand and shake your hands. I want to know who your parents are. I want to see you rule this nation. It's not going to happen if you don't make a decision today. But then, you may say to yourself, I may not have a vision. I may not know what my goals are. I may not understand what my destiny is. That is why you have the guardian counselors in school. Go to them. Like I said, treat them with respect. Appreciate them because they are there for your good. Love them for that reason. Tell them what you have passion for, and they'll be able to help you define what your future is going to be like. They'll help you set goals, and they'll help you walk through your plans. And once you know your plans, give in your best. Nothing but the very best. Put in every effort. Be committed. Take up the challenges. I have failed many times. I'm not ashamed of that. Failure helps me. It helps me to understand better. It helps me to reach out to those who know better than myself so they can teach me. You know, somebody once told me, he said, you always talk about destiny and goal. You have goals, you have a destiny, now you have a PhD, you work in correction, and you work in the high school. I say, yes, that is what I'm talking about. That after my PhD, I decided I want to work with high school kids and young adults. And I want to do that in the ministry. Where else? I set a goal for myself. The goal was to work here, work in the correction, in a special unit where they take care of the young adults. I see kids who've made big mistakes, locked up in the prison. 3 years, 5 years, they're going to be there 15, 20 years. For them, it is hopeless. But I begin to understand what they go through. I begin to have not just empathy, to feel like they feel. Every night when I come to work, I spend time with them. I speak to them. And before they leave, they have challenges. They have something inside of them, like a passion, like a fire inside of them. They just believe in themselves. And I see those who are coming out like in 20 years, believing they will still make it. They are in prison. They believe they can make it. What about you? With the freedom and the opportunities that you have. Every day here, you see me happy. I am so happy. I'm always full of joy. I laugh with all my bodies. You don't understand why? It's not about the money. With my degree, I can make more. But every day you're teaching me, you're preparing me. That was my goal, to be in the field. So when I talk with you, when I speak with you, when I understand you, when we interact, when we relate, you're teaching me, you inspire me, you motivate me. You're like my field instructors. So when I come here, I am so happy. I have confidence. That is how it is. When you know this is your goal, and you're pursuing your goal, and you're working through your plans, you never have low self-esteem. You never feel inferior. You never feel less than anybody, because in your heart you know you are doing something. You are going somewhere. It is what you want to be, and you are moving up there. It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you happy. It makes you comfortable where you are. It makes you you. It makes you unique. It makes you dynamic. It makes you somebody created with innovations, created, industrious, prepared for the future, which I believe every one of you is not just in your hand. I believe you're going to do better. I love you all. Thank you.